Lake Avenue, East Town Line Road, Knickerbocker Road, all those areas, especially to the north of 104 over these next couple of minutes here, is going to be critically important that you guys are getting somewhere safe. Winds heading towards the radar. This is winds heading away. So you can see that clear defined point of rotation. Even if you don't have a tornado on the ground or a tornado warning with that, broad rotation can indicate that potential for damaging wind gusts. And that's the other big thing that we're keeping an eye on today.
Now with the cloak of darkness over us, the visibility is just reduced even further. The throughway's closed for a reason. There's a travel advisory for a reason. Just stay home.
Update your plans. This is our first severe weather risk of the year, and of course things likely have changed for both you and your family as you've gotten through the winter time. This is a great time to test your plans and reevaluate them. It is a downburst confirmed here in Livingston County that caused this damage, with winds up to 100 miles an hour at its peak. And with the damage behind me, it's not hard to believe that either. We need three big pieces for our recipe here. We need the moon, the earth, and the sun, and they all have to be just in the right spot. In this case, the moon has to be right in between us and the sun to make this phenomena happen. Basically just acts like a big lid over the area. It can trap hot air and just end up kind of recirculating it back through, like when your car's AC doesn't work and it just keeps on pumping the same hot air right back at you. It's one of the great things about having AAA baseball right here in your backyard. Every once in a while, a superstar is going to make a stop on his rehab journey, and we're just lucky enough to have that happen for us here at Garrett Cole. Not as much lightning, though, and that's usually an indication that we start to see these storms begin to weaken. If we see this flare back up with more lightning, that's an indication it's growing back in shape and it's going to flare back up again. But you know, it happens. You hit a deer with your car, and then all of a sudden they're gone. They are in and out. There's no exchanging information, no deer insurance. You know, it's rude of them, honestly. Well, the sun has been out for a good chunk of the day. We started out a little bit foggy, a little bit cloudy for some of us, but it definitely turned itself around as the day went on. We'll continue to see temperatures hover into the low mid-70s for about the next couple of hours here. A little bit breezy out there from time to time too, but otherwise this has been basically a picture perfect day for all of us on the holiday weekend. A couple clouds beginning to make their way in from the distance here. We'll continue to see those high cirrus clouds begin to work their way in, and that's as some much more active weather is making its way through parts of Ohio and up through the eastern edge of Pennsylvania as we get into the next few hours here and into the early parts of the overnight hours as well. This whole system here is something we're going to be watching closely, particularly out here towards the west. This cold front likely to produce some strong to maybe even severe storms as we get into tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be something we need to watch really closely here because there's a few moving pieces that could make or break this forecast. Right now, we're going to keep a general low to very low risk across the entire area for severe weather risk here across western New York. We're still watching that risk of maybe an isolated spin-up tornado. There is still some rotation in the atmosphere, particularly as you get more out towards the Finger Lakes here. Wind and hail, two things we're looking at, flooding and lightning. But some of these storms, you could definitely get some very aggressive downpours, and lightning, severe weather or not, is going to be something that's going to be present throughout the day tomorrow. So you need to be keeping that in mind as you're making your plans. We'll see rain through the morning, and then second round, that's when we expect later in the afternoon that chance for some strong to severe storms. We've already talked about risks. This is really an important one for you guys back at home. What should you do? One, you should have multiple ways to get those weather warnings from wherever you're going to be. NOAA weather radio, our apps, any app that will give you alerts, wireless emergency alerts on your phone, or even just social media as a last-ditch effort. And also, you really want to know where you can shelter if you're going to be away from a place that you normally are. If you're at a marina or you're out at a campsite, you need to find somewhere that you know you can go that's going to be a sturdy shelter in the case of severe weather making its way through. So let's time things out here, but watch this rain begin to make its way through overnight. That'll be round one. We'll get another bit of rain as we get into the later morning hours. And keep in mind, this is still not that severe weather risk here, though we could hear some thunder with this as it makes its way by. This here is going to be the critical period. Once we see that late morning round of rain make its way out, we'll watch this area begin to open up a little bit, breaks in the clouds to get some sunshine, and that's when we get that instability to build right ahead of that cold front getting ready to make its way by. This is where we can see those strong to severe storms develop all across this area here, particularly some of the strength focus out here through the Finger Lakes as we get into the later parts of the afternoon. That's where we're going to be watching the closest here across our area. Now, the rest of your 8-day forecast, we continue to keep an eye on a couple more chances for showers later into the week and much cooler temperatures. But right now, we'll continue to focus a lot of our efforts on how Memorial Day looks through the rest of the night.